What's going on, guys? Chandler's Legacy Farm here. I've got a new knife in. I wanted to show you guys the whole series that I have anyway of Watchman knives. This is the FO17. Watchman knives, I believe, are all made by Brothers Knives, because two of these say Brothers on the blade. One of them does not, but Watchman is what you look up when you're looking up on Amazon. But they all come with good Kydex sheaths. I can't complain about the sheaths at all on these knives. But this is it. This is the FO17 made by Brothers Knives. It is a very, very heavy duty style knife. It seems heavy duty anyway. It's got a pretty thick stock on it. The handles are contoured nicely. It has these blue liners on it, and they really look nice in it. Whenever you look this knife up on Amazon, it looks red. It may even say red, but it looks red. The handle, it is a canvas micarta, and it's not a real rough textured like an Essie. You know, it's kind of fine grit, like sandpaper feel to it, sort of. But it's contoured great, fits my hand well. I got large to extra large hands, so it's got good chipping on the back. It's not real aggressive at all. The spine, I think, might strike a fire steel or scratch fat wood. Maybe. It's pretty close. It's not quite there, but I think it'll do it. I think it will. I'll do a little fire making video and do some batoning and feather sticking excuse me, with this knife in another video. But it's got a textured pommel on the bottom of it, and if you look, you can see how the liners out here on each side are kind of cut out, and that's so you can run your lanyard through it. Now, it would be pretty difficult to run a lanyard through that without taking the scales off, in my opinion. I'm probably not even going to put a lanyard on it. But that textured pommel, that'd be great for, beating on stuff, doing whatever you need to do. Maybe hammering in tent stakes, maybe something like that. And since it's textured, it's relatively, I don't know, it's got a little bit of bite to it when I scratch my finger with it. So it might strike a fire steel off the bottom of it. I don't know, we'll try that too. But like I said, this is the Brothers, or the Watchman, made by Brothers Knives. It is the FO17 in D2 steel. And if you can look at the blade there, it's kind of like a stonewash look. There's a stonewash look on that D2. The sheaths, like I said, it comes with these Watchmans there. The sheaths are great. The wannabe tech clips, though, they suck. They really do. I'm going to go ahead and try to use this one. Whenever I got this one in, whenever I got this Watchman in, I didn't glue these little tabs in, or these little bars. I did not glue those in. Since I didn't glue them in, I lost them on this one, on this particular knife. So therefore, that's why this one has an actual tech lock on it. All right, I went ahead and sprung the money to put the tech lock on this one. This is the SE3 wannabe, I guess. It's just like an SE3. It is it's D2 steel also, but you can tell it is coated black. It is the FO16. So this will be your 16, and this is your 17. FO17, FO16. All right. It is, almost identical to an SE3. Very, very close. It's just a little thicker. Handle scales are a little thicker. Spine on it is sharp. I've done a video on this knife too, doing some firecraft. It works very well as a small bushcraft knife. It's very slicey, very good knife. So I'm hoping this one will impress almost as much as this one. Excuse me. I am just not, I don't think that I don't think that this one's going to throw sparks and scratch fat wood as well as this one does. This one is very sharp on the edges, so it does a very, very, very good job. So what I'm going to do is, with this sheath and this knife, I've already took some super glue and I glued those bars in, okay? I glued those in, and I'm just going to see how well this thing will hold up. I knew if I didn't glue those in, I would most likely lose them, because that's what happened on the other one. And on a tech lock, on these tech locks, actual tech locks, man, they're so much better. They are. Whenever you feel the quality, you can tell the difference. But with these tech locks, I've never felt the need to glue these in because I've never lost one. You know, I've never lost one of these, so I don't glue the tech lock ones in. If I ever lose one, then maybe I'll go around and glue all my tech locks little bars in place. But for now, I haven't lost one, so I just don't worry about it. But with this clip, I'm going to try it. Now, this is the other Watchman. This was the first Watchman I got. It's the Azula 2 knockoff. It says Watchman on it instead of Brothers Knives. So I don't know if Brothers actually makes this or not. I'd say Watchman does. But these two both are D2 steel. This one's uncoated with stonewash. This one's, coated black. This one is in 14C28N. And this one is the the WF204. That's what that one is. WF204. Like I said, it's an Azula knockoff. It has micarta handle scales too. It is a very nice little knife. I really like it. I love the way it fits your hand. I just like it. I really love this little knife. It's really nice. I carry it quite often, actually. Now, this one came with one of the small tech clips, all right? And this one is, you push the bottom, you push this little button up on the bottom to open it to put it on your belt. I have not glued these in. This thing is made solid. I don't know who makes this clip that they use on this knife, but this little guy is very, very solid. It is a great clip. It really is. I would rank it almost up there with the tech clip from what I've seen so far. So the clip that comes with this knife, great. You don't have to do anything to this one at all. You don't have to go out and buy you a tech clip for this knife. The retention on all their Kydex sheaths, pretty good. You just push off with your thumb, it clicks in and out. I mean, you can hear it. It's in there. Got a little rattle on this little guy, but whenever it's on your side, if you're like me, a little bit of your love handle there is going to hold out against the knife, so it don't rattle anyway. This one here, slide it in. Not much rattle at all. Not much rattle at all. That one's pretty good. This one, we'll slide it in there. It clicks in there quite well too. Clicks in there pretty good, or not gonna fall out. It has a little bit of rattle, just a little. But these are the three knives that I own from the Watchman series. All right, they are, like I said, these two are D2. This one's in that other steel. It's stainless. It's that, what is it? 14C28N. This one came pretty sharp, but the edge didn't last very long. I had to work on it to get it resharpened, and it was not real easy to sharpen. The edge on this one has been holding up very good. I've just dropped it a couple times, and man, this thing came screaming sharp, and it has held up very well, very well. I know the handle on it's ugly as sin, but that was supposed to be bright orange, just like this one was supposed to be red. So this was supposed to be bright orange. That was supposed to be red. That's what you saw on Amazon. That's what it looked like, Yeah, well, what you get in person, a little different sometimes. So I'm hoping this knife will hold up as well as the other two have. I really like the other two. Now, I will say this. Watchman makes another knife similar to this, but it's even smaller. I'm not sure, but I think it's more compared to the Kangaroo that Essie makes, that little bitty Kangaroo they call it. I think that's what they call it. Anyway, a friend of mine from work, he just bought it. And it comes with a little bitty pocket clip that just clips right here. And man, the clip that comes with it is a piece of junk. But he bought a different style clip to put on it. And he's just been carrying that little knife just clipped on the inside of his pocket, right? And he's been wearing it at work. He works with me. He works in the mill, in the mining industry like I do. And he keeps it clipped on the inside of his pocket. And like I said, it's a little bitty knife. It's half the size of this. It's just a little bitty guy, but it's D2 steel. And it does, I don't think it's not coated, I promise you. I know it's not coated, but I don't think it's got a stonewash on it either. I'm pretty sure it's just flat D2 steel. It doesn't have a stonewash or anything like that. It's a shiny knife, is what I'm getting at. But anyway, his is D2 steel, half the size of this, got a little pocket clip. He's been carrying it at work, and he's been carrying it for about 2 weeks, and it's been hot. Here at our work, here where I live, it has been hot. So with the sweat, with the sweat and getting wet, you know, we're in a working environment, his is starting to discolor and rust. So the D2 steel, yeah, it's semi-stainless, but if you get enough sweat on one of these and you sweat on it all day long on something D2, it could rust. Now, his is, so I don't know. I know these knives are you know, made overseas. They're not American knives, so I don't know what is put into their D2. You know what I'm getting at? This one, like I said, it's 14C28N, so it should not rust. Not near as easy as D2, because it is actually, as far as I know, it is actually a stainless steel. So anyway, wanted to pass that along to you guys. The little bitty kangaroo that's in D2 steel, a friend of mine's, it's rusting because he's wearing it at work. And, you know, sweating all over inside his pocket. Sometimes inside of our mill, you know, when it's 95 degrees outside, it might be 110 inside of our buildings. You know, we don't have air-conditioned buildings. Our buildings are humongous. But there's no AC in there. We keep the big bay doors open, you know, to get a little airflow. But it stays hot. So, anyway, little update on his knife. Like I said, I think it's the comparison to the little SE Kangaroo. So anyway, that is my series. Now, what I was going to do here, I want to compare these. I'm going to compare this new knife because this one has some similarities to some other knives that are in close to the same price range. This knife was $38 on Amazon, right? 38 or 39 bucks is what I gave for it, right? So I think this one was 25 or 30 bucks at Walmart. This is the Swiss Tech Stahlhorn, I think is what they call it. Anyway, you can pick these up at Walmart all the time. Now, the sheath on this, the way this clip, I don't like it. I just don't like it. Other people may. I just do not like the way this sheath's made with this clip. It does come with a fire steel, so for less money, you're getting a crappier sheath, you know, not Kydex, just plastic. You're getting a crappier sheath with a little smaller knife, but you get a fire steel for less money. And this is an AUS 8. This is an AUS 8 steel. But I want to show you the comparison here. It's you know, this has got a saber grind, and that's pretty well what this has too, is a saber grind. It may be a hollow, no, it's kind of mostly saber. So anyway, it's got jipping on it. But anyway, I just wanted you guys to see the comparison there. This one is just a little bigger than this one, right? Just a little. Now this one doesn't have any contouring at all on the handle. It's just a straight handle with a little bit of a finger guard right there. You know, this one's a lot more contoured. But anyway, that's a pretty relatively close comparison there. So if you know the size of one of these, or if you own one of these, you'll realize now that this is just a little bit bigger, right? And another good comparison, I got three here. Another decent comparison is your more Garber. Now, I understand this has got a saber grind. This has got your Scandi grind, right? It's got a Scandi grind. But the handle on it's relatively contoured. And so there you go. It's pretty close, you know, pretty close in size to that. Pretty close. Now, it has got an exposed pommel, just like this one. So in that aspect, they're pretty close to the same too. You know, contoured handles. This one's contoured better than the Mora, and this is, you know, an overmolded plastic to where this is bolted on scales. But and the stock thickness, this is maybe barely thicker than the Garberg. They're pretty darn close. But yeah, I understand it's different grinds, but I just kind of wanted to show you guys a comparison there. And if you've ever wondered about this as compared to the Garberg, there you go. They are damn near identical. I mean, damn near identical in length and handle, and this one doesn't have an exposed pommel like this one does. And this one is more contoured. This one is, you know, canvas micarta with bolted on scales. But I mean, as far as the size of the knives go, holy shit, they're almost identical. You know, you got a saber grind instead of a Scandi, but I mean, they are so close. And then you have got a BPS Adventurer. This one is in stainless steel. I can't remember the number on it, and I sure as hell can't read it. They stamped it on there so small. So anyway, a BPS Adventurer. If you have one of those, we can compare those. All right, your BPS Adventurer is going to have a longer cutting edge, and it's going to have a Scandi grind, of course. But it the handle on it on the BPS is a little smaller, a little less to grip onto. But I love these knives. These knives are awesome. But for $45, you get this with a leather sheath, with a dangler, or you can slip it on your belt, and it comes with fire steel. So for $45, you can have a little bit larger knife with a sharpened spine. But the stock thickness on this Adventurer is just a shade thinner, I believe. Yes, it is. The stock thickness is a little thinner than on this Brothers knife. All right. But, and this has got wood scales as compared to your micarta. This one's got 2 bolts on it holding the wood on. You know, this one has got 2 bolts holding the wood on, holding the micarta on. This one has 3, you know. So you got to look at construction too. So, and I'm pretty sure that this is skeletonized under here. Pretty sure I watched another person's video, and this is skeletonized under here, and it's round actually, though I think it's not like square. So that'll help for integrity of the knife. You know, if they're gonna have to skeletonize it, it needs to be rounded inside there, not squared off, because squared off corners is where it's gonna be weak, up in the corners. But anyway, that's what we got. We'll compare that one more time. I'll pull that up so you guys can see. But your BPS Adventurer is going to be just a little bigger, a little longer, I should say, but it's not quite as thick stick, you know, of steel. The thickness is a little thinner. But anyway, guys, that's it. That's all I got. We'll do a video. I'm going to do a video naturally. I'll do a video on this new knife, and I'll do a video on building a fire with it and all that good stuff. So I'll see how it does, you know, for firecraft and wood, you know, woodwork, and it's, man, I think it's got a good tip. It's almost like a spear point, almost, but it's a drop point, but it's almost a spear point. I would almost go spear point on that. But anyway, I'll do a video. I'll do some batoning, do some feather sticks, see if we can't get a fire going with it. But that's it. I just wanted to show that off. I just got it in the mail yesterday. We'll get out of here, and I'll quit rambling, and we'll see you guys. If you like what I've been doing, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Be sure you subscribe, please. I really need some subscribers. I'm almost to 800. The more subscribers I can get, better off I'll be. But anyway, guys, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. We will see ya.